All right, good morning, leaders. My name is
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Johanna Wolf. I'm the Vice President of Leaders in Women's Health, and I just want to welcome you here this morning and for this new year. And we will start with an opening prayer, and then we'll have introductions. Just as a side note, real quick, we do have some of our people missing today, notably our president, Alicia is out. She has to cover for some people at work, so she won't be here. And we may have some committee members missing. So we might be able to get through this meeting a lot quicker today. But let's start with introductions. And I will call out the first person that I see on my screen. And then I'll have that person then call out the next person. If you just want to give your name and organization, that would be great. So I see Gwen.
Oh, good morning. I am Gwen Haynes, RN. I'm with, besides Leaders in Women's Health, Ebony Nurses of Tacoma, Carol Milgard Board, now I can't think of, Faith Health in Action, Faith Health in Action also. And good to see everybody this morning.
Thank you. Can you pick the next person?
Sarah is right below me.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Sarah Irish. My paid job is with Molina Healthcare. I'm the community engagement specialist for Pierce County, and I'm part of the group here. I'm on the board of the Tacoma Urban League, on the board of the Foundation for Tacoma Students, and also the president of the board of trustees for the Tacoma Public Library.
Thank you.
And I will pick Liesl.
Yay, Liesl! Oh my goodness.
Good morning. I'm sorry, I'm not camera ready yet, but I'm so excited to be here. Sarah has been reaching out to me and saying, come back, and I have been wanting to come back. And so here I am in the new year. Leaders in Women's Health is near and dear to my heart and has always been since we formed. I work for an education organization called College Success Foundation and have since I left Leaders in Women's Health. And I am actually going to be leaving the 19th CSF and working for a health organization. So I think this will be in line with potentially with my new job. I don't know. They'll tell me if it is or not, but I'm going to be working for the Tacoma Pierce County Health Department as a community engagement specialist. And I talk about you guys in interviews. And I want to work with you guys again. And I think that it's likely that I will in my new position. So I thought, I'm coming this morning, even though I have CSF work to do, I'm coming. And I am involved in several other projects. Latinx Unidos of the South Sound is a volunteer organization that I work for that works with Latino health and other social issues. And we have been working hard and vaccinating Latino community members. So I've been working hard to do grant writing for them and helping support that, as has Sarah, I know, is a strong promoter of our Latinx Unidos of the South Sound as well. And then several other community things that I do. One is Tacoma Creates, which is putting money into the arts for communities of color in particular to have access to arts. So I hope to bring more information to you guys about that in the future. And I choose Diana Owens. It's so good to see you guys.
Thank you. Diana, would you also lead us in prayer? I'm so sorry. I totally skipped over that. So
thank you. I am Diana. I'm the chaplain, not to this organization, but that's my calling. And I'd like to offer a blessing for the Leaders in Women's Health. We welcome you into the beginning of a new year. May our time together reflect the essence of who we are as leaders. May we be women of compassion, May we be women of integrity. May we be women of purpose and meaning. May we be women who value the spiritual, the emotional, the mental, the physical of our beingness. And may our work together reflect the wholeness and depths of our souls. Let it be, and so be it. Diana Owens.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. That was beautiful. Thank you.
You're
Amen.
welcome. I'm glad to be here. And if I kind of introduce myself, I guess I can say I've been a lot of things. So I'm here as Diana today.
Wonderful. Would you like to choose the next person, Diana?
Yeah, did we hear from Sarah? Oh, we heard from Sarah. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, Gwendol?
We've heard from Gwen as well, I think.
Wow, so who is that to hear from?
How about Anne?
Anne, yeah, Anne, my relative.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Anne, my husband's family.
Cousin, right. Thanks, Diana. It's good to see
You're
you.
welcome.
I'm Ann Mumford. I am a part of several organizations, Keepers of the Flame Northwest, which is my organization. I'm on the board of Pierce County AIDS Foundation. I'm on the executive committee of the Tacoma Ministerial Alliance. And I'm also on the Health Equity Advisory Board at MultiCare. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. And would you like to select the next person?
Okay, let me see. Allison Candy Smith.
Good morning. I'm Allison Kennedy Smith, and my day job is as Associate Vice President for Constituent Relations at the University of Puget Sound. I'm also the pastor of Bailey AME Church in Everett, Washington, and I serve as vice coordinator of the Pacific Northwest Conference Women in Ministry for the AME Church, with a particular passion for faith and health, and have been also involved in Leaders for a while, for quite a while, and Faith, Health, and Action for quite a while. So glad to be among you. Hi, Lisa. Oh my gosh. And I would invite Debbie. I don't know if Debbie went yet.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I got up late today, so I'm sorry I'm eating breakfast, but Debbie Saint, and I'm the coordinator for Congregational Health Ministries with Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. And I'm also with, of course, Leaders in Women's Health and Faith, Health, and Action. And I'm also on the board for Step by Step Maternity Support Services. My news today is that I am retiring. And so I will be retiring as of March 3rd. And I still plan to continue to come to leaders meetings and be part of the education committee.
Yay.
So yeah.
That
Let's
is a
see.
yay.
Since I came in late, let's see. Liesl, have you talked yet?
Yes.
I have.
Okay. Lois?
Yes, hi everyone. Yes, my name is Lois, and of course, I'm a member of Leaders in Women Health. I'm a part of the Education Committee. I'm on the board of Mahogany Circle of Hope. I belong to A. Philip Randolph, and also Faith, Health, and Action of a Health Ministry through Greater Heights here in Tacoma, Pastor John Wayne Penton. And I am glad to be here in 2022 and to see all of you. God bless.
Thank you. And Lois, can you choose someone to
I
introduce?
see Linda Ash.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm Linda Ash. I'm part of Leaders in Women's Health and Faith Health in Action, the Equity Board at MultiCare, Ebony Nurses, and a few other things. And I'm just so glad to be here. I had a terrible time trying to get on. I'm not sure what was going on there. But I'm doing great. Thank you. Oh, let's see. What about who's on the phone there on the iPhone? Okay, whoever's on the iPhone, I choose that person. Okay. No response. Well, what about Barbara Lane? Unmute. You're muted. Great.
For me, it's afternoon. I am on the meeting from Accra, West Africa. So good morning and Happy New Year.
Wow. Okay.
that's wonderful.
Yes.
I am
Wow.
here in support of a project for PeaceWorks United. I sit on the board with them, and also in support of the Tacoma chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority. I am, of course, a member of Leaders in Women's Health, a member of the Tacoma chapter of the NAACP. I serve with the Institute of Black Justice. I am very busy in community. I'm just glad to be here, and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
That's awesome. What country are you in, Barbara?
I'm in Accra,
Oh, okay, okay.
Accra, which is part of Ghana.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yes.
I think we let's see, who do we have? We have Amita. I know we've got Amita still.
I saw Amita. Mhm.
Good morning.
Morning.
Happy New Year to everyone. And great, Barbara. I bet that's wonderful. You're able to be in Ghana, and what an experience. But glad to hear from you and everyone else. Happy New Year. My name is Amita Hassan, and I'm in several groups: Mahogany Circle of Hope, Leaders in Women's Health, Black Infant Health, Keepers of the Flame, Faith Health in Action, on the health ministry at Greater Heights Church of God in Christ. And I just want to say I'm just thankful to make another year, just working on good health and looking forward for the year. And I just wish everybody good health and blessings. Good to see everyone.
Thank you, Amita. Thank you. I just can't believe how busy everybody is. This is wonderful.
Mhm.
I do want to hear from Ms. Shayla. I know you haven't introduced yourself. If you can, be great.
Ooh, wonderful.
Thank you. And so was that Adrian on the iPhone?
Hi, everyone. I'm on my iPad. Can you all see me? I can't see
We can't
everyone.
see you. No, we see some
Oh,
pattern or something. There we
oh, flip my camera.
Yeah, a piece of paper. That's what we're seeing.
Oh, no. Okay.
I'm glad you said something because I was like, who's on the iPhone? So you're on the iPad.
Now we
Yes,
know
we're-
how much you owe.
You got your budget there
Oh dear.
on Facebook.
Is that better now? Can you see me
That's
now?
like your okay. Yes, we see your hand, but we see your face in the there you go. Yeah. Beautiful face. There we go.
Okay.
All right. So
Well,
you're
hello,
up, Miss
everyone, and
Adrian.
Happy New Year. I'm Adrian Tillman. I'm an RN. I'm an ebony nurse. I've been doing more community work. I've member of the ebony nurse. I do several community things too, and let's see. I have to think about what I do. I've been a member of Leaders in Women's Health for a little bit. I just recently finished last year as a Sister Friends navigator, which was a lot of fun. I'm going to do it again this year, and I'm also a faith community nurse with Debbie Saint. So just do a little bit of things, a little bit of everything. So not as much as everybody else, but anyway, Happy New Year. Glad to see everybody. Take care and be blessed.
Thank you. Don't undersell yourself, Adrian. You do plenty.
I do enough to keep you busy anyway. Huh?
Yeah, well, it's good work. Did we get everyone? Okay. All right. So we'll move over to the next item on the agenda, which is some committee updates. And we don't have Queena on the call today, but do we have someone who can do a Sister Friends 2.0 update?
Well, I can say that they've already set the dates for this year, and they will be starting in March. Last year we started in April, and this year we'll be starting in March. And there looks like there'll be 4 events. And last year we had 4 events, but I know we're starting earlier. And Queena has already sent out flyers to different organizations, to the faith community nurses, and the FIA churches, the Faith, Health, and Action churches. And so that's all I know about it right now. But they are continuing the program. I think Queena
Okay.
is on vacation because I sent her email and she's out until the 17th.
Yes, I believe so. Thank you. And thank you for also clarifying what the acronym is, because not everyone, sometimes we do use a lot of acronyms and it's good to clarify. So thank you, Adrian. That was helpful.
You're welcome. No problem.
And debunking myths, Michelle, did you have?
I want to say something about the Sister Friends. Molina sponsored last year, and we are willing to sponsor again the Sister Friends again. So I don't know who's from that group. We need the proposal submitted again. And if you have any questions, reach out and I will walk you through the whole process.
I think Queena would probably be the best person to get in contact with for that. Linda, did you have your hand up?
Well, I was going to say, I am a part of that. And yeah, Queena is the best person to get a hold of that. Yes. Because I think we're in the process when Queena gets back of requesting additional navigators. Because so far, Adrian is the only one. I'm pretty sure that was our last meeting. So if you could send that information to Queena, Sarah, that'd be great. She's the one.
Yeah, actually, that's what the money that we gave was to sponsor the navigator. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so we're willing to do that again. So yeah, if you guys, I would reach out, but if you guys can also let her know, that'd be great.
I will. I certainly will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you to Molina for being willing to sponsor us again this year. Appreciate that. Anything else on Sister Friends 2.0? Okay, great. Let's move on to debunking myths. And I don't know that there's anything new with that. We were talking about that with the Education Committee. Linda?
And there isn't. We are in the process, but we really need support from leaders because we've been trying since November to get someone to be on the panel for debunking myth. And we started out with trying to get the barbershops, and they sort of turned us down. And then the fraternity, the Panhellenic part of the fraternities, the guys, and that didn't go over. And I did reach out to one of the other organizations that has been very supportive for us, which is Quilted Clinic, Quilted Health. And they're the ones that did the initial debunking series with us. And I have gotten no response. And I did let Alicia know that day before yesterday. The only person that responded was the social worker, and we need a physician. The expectation is that we will get some support, the panel from the, where are you, Johanna? The health department. We're waiting for some response from at least 3 or 4 people to be on the panel because Michela has the program already completely done. It's just we need the panel group. So it sounds like they have that funding has given us, I think the original date to use it was the 13th or so of November. And now we have until, I think it's the end of February. And we were scheduling it for the 25th of January. But so, we're just up in the air as far as the date because we do need to get that panel. So that's where we are with the debunking information. And Michela, if she's on, she may have additional information. But I think the 3 of us are the ones that have been doing some of this. I think we'll all have the same information.
So I'm sorry, Michela. So the Education Committee met yesterday, and I think, is that Gwen, what you were going to bring up? We did have some ideas. Oh, okay. I just wanted to, before you went on, I just wanted to, go ahead, Gwen. You're still muted, Gwen.
Okay, all right. I was just going to say that I'm not the chair of the committee, but the Education Committee, when we met yesterday, came up with the idea for the month of March under debunking myths to cover COVID information, since we know cases are rising and there's so many untruths out there about wearing masks and the vaccines and whatnot. So we thought that having that for the month of March to be an educational offering. However, again, need a speaker and stuff. So that was only just yesterday. So both Alicia and Michela were not able to be present. So we just got to marry back up and try to get something going. But anyway, we were suggesting March for that topic.
Good morning, everyone. Can I pop in for just a second? Sorry, this is Alicia. Sorry,
Hi,
I'm late.
Alicia.
The world is COVID, the end. So I think all of those are really good ideas. And I know, again, we've kind of meshed the barber shop task force, the debunking myths, and now it sounds like there was a conversation yesterday with the education committee, which all of these are really good. This is all really good information. The one thing I want to add, though, although I understand COVID is a thing and is clearly not going away anytime soon, I do want us to fall back in line with our original work. I really would like us to, it's good. We've done a lot of education around COVID, and obviously COVID's not going anywhere, but I do want to bring us full circle and come back to doing breast health. And, that needs to stay our topic, and other health disparities, because even though COVID is a thing, not going away, can't say that enough, I do think we need to also talk about all the other health disparities that go along with the reason why our community has been so impacted by COVID. If we're talking about diabetes, we're talking about blood pressure, we're talking about all these other factors. I do think we need to get back to that work on top of, and with breast health. So, I know some folks might disagree with that, but I do think that, everybody's doing COVID education right now. And granted, we are a trusted organization. Folks come to us to get information. I do not want to take away from that, but I also don't want us to turn into I feel like for the last 2 years, we've been talking a lot about COVID, and we need to get back to our roots. Does that make sense? Do you all understand what I'm blabbing about? So yeah, I just want to throw that out there. I do think that there's a way that we could take this work that we've already started doing with the Barber Shop Task Force, debunking myths, and then now with the education committee portion, but also talking to Queen and knowing how much the numbers have dropped for folks going in and getting mammograms for all of the above reasons. But we really need to circle back to that work. So thank you, guys.
Thank you. So is this something, who makes the final decision on this? Is this something that the education committee is tasked with? Is it something we all need to vote on, or?
I think that we could probably go at our next executive committee meeting, really hash it out a little bit more and have it in a little bit of a better package, and then present it to the entire committee or the entire group membership next month.
Okay. Sounds good. Anything else regarding the debunking myths? Anita. Make sure and unmute.
I just wanted clarity about the January 25th event. That topic is about COVID-19, correct?
Yes.
And are you still moving forth with that? Or when Linda gave her report, did she say she didn't have any speakers or a panel? Could you just review that information again for me, please?
Right, we don't have a panel yet. And so we don't know that that's going to occur on that day. It's still pretty fluid, so we don't have the panel. We have the program set up, but we just don't have the panel. But Alicia may know more on what may have happened within the last day or so. Has anything changed, Alicia?
No, nothing has changed. We are still trying to get folks to be a part of that panel. And that day is just a day that we chose out of the air. So if we do find panelists who are willing to participate, they're not available that day, but they are available on another day. And that day we can move the day that we chose out of the air. So yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So looks like we've still got some outside discussion to do around that. So that really kind of segues into the education committee updates. And I know that outside discussion to do around unfortunately, Jackie's not here. She took notes, and I am not able to access them with having my screens used. Does anyone have the notes from that Jackie provided for the education committee?
Just a minute.
We can pull them up.
I have them.
Oh, do you, Debbie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, would you mind going over those with us?
Sure. Let's see. I think the best thing probably would be just to go through the yearly calendar that she revised. We already talked about the possibility of debunking myths in March with COVID-19. So that's going to be discussed in the executive committee. And then in April, we have on the 13th of April, colon cancer awareness with Dr. Diane Bai, and that's been confirmed. In June, we would like to have a panel or a speaker on parenting through the ages. We're going to talk to you a little bit more about that, Alicia. And then in July, we are going to ask someone if they can do a end of life planning, advanced directives type of a presentation, and either that will be for July or August. We also want to have a presentation on breastfeeding, and that will be either in July or August, which either one of those work out to. Then September, we are looking for a speaker, or I am anyway, on immunizations for a lifetime. So many of the other immunizations have kind of been ignored in the past couple of years, both for children and for adults. And then in November, we're looking for a speaker on suicide awareness. So was there anything else, Education Committee members,
yes.
that I have not covered?
This is Adrian. I was going to say, yes, we did, well, first of all, the reason why we didn't do it in February is because our speaker wasn't available. So I did hear back from her, and our speaker that we were looking for is Glenda Shepard, and she is available in July.
Oh, good.
So yeah, that's a good thing. So then we could go ahead and focus on August as being National Breastfeeding Month. And I think Johanna had someone in mind, or we were going to get some information from Johanna for that one for August, for National Breastfeeding Month. But yeah, so definitely July will be End of Life Planning by Glenda Shepard.
Great work. Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, she's an excellent speaker. She is African-American lady, and she's used to working with all types of end-of-life planning. She's done hospice care. She's with Virginia Mason, Virginia Mason,
Franciscan Health.
Franciscan Health Center. Yes. Okay, it's a long word there. But yeah, she's done that. And so she's just busy right now, really going to school and getting her doctorate degree. And she also has a sister who is also on hospice. So she's not available for February, but she will definitely be done with school and all. And she plans to speak for us in July. She's very excited about it.
Great.
Yes. I was glad to hear that too. Sorry, I cannot get my camera working today. I don't know what's going on.
We can see you.
Oh, you can see me? Oh, okay. I can't see. Sometimes this technology is something else. I'll tell you. I can't see everybody.
We're all learning on the go.
Gallery. Yeah. Okay, I think that was it.
I could also stop sharing. Maybe that might be easier, but then hopefully I'll be able to still see.
Oh, now I can see myself. Oh, okay, I'm there.
There you go. Okay. Gwen, go ahead.
One additional thing from the meeting yesterday, which would meet the purpose of us talking about it was so that it could be discussed at you guys' executive meeting, is to be able to continue to offer an honorarium for speakers for our educational offerings. And so an honorarium was given before, but I guess making the decision that we would continue to be able to offer an honorarium to whoever comes in as a speaker.
Yes.
Also, we talked about, to your point, Alicia, about getting back to what we're, our roots of breast health and the debunking myths as, we've got another one scheduled, just question mark debunking myths for October. and using that one for breast health and awareness.
Yes, yes. And yes, and I also want to add too that the reason why we decided to do COVID, I know, and we did say that too, we have heard a lot about COVID, but we thought we would just give some updates because, you know, the difference with the masks, the 3 different types of masks that can keep you, you know, the difference between the cloth mask and the N95 and things like that. We were just going to do an updated version, but we could focus that, since you said that, Alicia, we could focus on the disparities also. We could put that in there, but we can discuss it more. But yeah, I just wanted you to know that we did. That's the reason why we decided to debunk COVID for March, since we didn't have our speaker in February. Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks.
Awesome. All right. Anything else around the education committee?
Allison, I've been hearing a lot about the pushing back of surgeries or biopsies or what's been or considering some types of breast cancer surgeries or lump removals as elective instead of and so I wonder if there's to Alicia's point and to the COVID point, if there's a nuance there that we can talk about in terms of how to navigate and advocate even the more for ourselves during this COVID season when things are being pushed back, and we know that the outcomes for women of color are even worse when we are delayed in receiving care. And so I wonder if there's something that we can do to talk about that.
Allison, that is absolutely a wonderful idea. That, I mean, yeah, I think that's so real, and that is a huge thing. I mean, in my own family, my mother had waited 1.5 years to have esophagus surgery, and because they considered it elective. And so she was and to the point where she was having a hard time keeping water down. So I think that is something we should absolutely explore. I'm not sure if that falls under education committee. I'm not sure where that falls, but I definitely, please, all of you keep that in mind and think of how we can work on that and pivot with that, because I think that is so real for so many people in so many different areas, especially for something like a biopsy or, you know, things that you elected quotations, which really they're not. So no, that is great. And I would definitely, yes, at the next executive committee meeting, let's hash that out a little bit more of how we could. I don't really know that falls under debunking myths. I don't know if it's just an education. I don't know. We would have to hash that out a lot more, but I think that
I would think that would be pretty complex and more of an advocacy focus, which we've done. But there's probably a lot of layers to that.
Yeah.
So not sure how to tackle that, but I know my surgery was scheduled for Friday and it was canceled.
Yeah. Yeah, let's explore that at our next executive committee meeting. And even if the education committee meets again I think we should keep this on topic or on the top of our minds, because I do think that that is a super valid thing. Or even just letting people know the expectation, like don't be surprised when things get pushed back or postponed or, whatever. So thank you, Allison. That's a great idea.
And Alicia, I would love to be plugged into to work on that wherever it lands.
Okay, awesome.
So please let me know.
And that's actually a good segue, because I see that on the agenda, I'm to give an update on outreach and advocacy. And I've been remiss in actually getting a committee together for outreach. I don't know that outreach and advocacy necessarily belong in the same committee, but to what was spoken about, certainly that's something we could talk about regarding advocacy. I think it is complex, as Debbie mentioned, because it's there's COVID aspects, but it's also workforce related. There's not enough people maybe in the workforce due to COVID to be able to have the procedures done. I know my mom's mammogram had to be rescheduled, because the people were just out sick. So yeah, there's a lot involved in that.
Some of the stats just from yesterday at St. Joe's were 130 some people were positive for COVID. Now we're talking about a hospital that is a little over 200 beds. So you're looking at well over 50% of the patients there are positive for COVID right now. Personally, I don't want to really have surgery in an environment like that. So that's just my opinion, but there's 25% of the staff are calling out because of COVID related reasons. So they're valid reasons. Last week we had 30 people waiting in the hallway for a bed. So, and this is happening all over Western Washington. A friend of mine said that yes, at Harborview, there was a nurse that actually broke up spoons, put them in a plastic cup for the people in the hallway to shake. That was their bell to be able to call for help. I mean, that is pretty sad, right? So, I mean, it is a crisis right now.
Yeah, there's also, even with all of COVID cases, there's also been a mass exodus of healthcare. I think we've talked about this a little bit before in one of our previous. We've just, so many people have left healthcare just in general. I know a nurse who left and is driving for Uber because she was like, I just don't want to potentially go to work every day with the, and die. Like that was, her logic. So yes, and I don't know that that's going to change anytime soon. So yeah, it's all bad.
But it's not just the hospitals, it's also the clinics across the state are reducing their services due to the fact that they don't have enough staff to show up to work, or they don't have enough staff to cover all the needs of the clinics too.
And Michaela just shared that the Walmart in Lakewood was shut down actually with 72 cases of COVID in the Walmart in Lakewood. So they shut it down for 72 hours. So, and I think this is going to be, this is the new world that we live in. So not to say that COVID's not a big deal, but I think the way that and this is my perspective, I think the folks who know about it. It's the folks who don't want to know anything. And it's really hard to reach them because they've made the decision that they don't want to know anything. So, that's the challenge, is how do we get folks who have decided that it's either a conspiracy, it's not real, they just don't care, all of the above. How do we get those folks to do all the things that they're supposed to do? Leah's not here today because she's actually participating in the Department of Health COVID update for the state of Washington. So it'll be really interesting what information she's able to bring back to us after that meeting today. So yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Alicia, this is Marge. I can give you the stats as of today. I'm not sure won't be the most current that Leah has, but this is what was published at the Health Department today,
Absolutely.
if you would want that.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, and once again, I apologize. I've been having technical difficulty all day trying to get on. So but anyway, I'll give you what our most current stats are. And as of today, there's per 100,000 cases, 54.1% is higher than the threshold reported 7 days ago. And it was confirmed that there is 11,327 cases of COVID since between January the 2nd and then also the 8th, with 21 new deaths. And this is the part that I found that was quite interesting because it was broken down in age groups. Well, currently there's cases, it's 127,597 cases, 998 deaths. That's the total for January. And the cases of 20% of our cases are younger than 20 years old. 30.1% of the cases of the ages are 20 to 34 years old. 26.2% of the cases are 35 to 49 years old. And 22.9% of the cases were 50 years and older. And that was, and so our total death rates were, once again, was for this week was 24 new deaths. And that was published yesterday.
Thank you, Marge, for that update.
Mhm.
And I am curious on those numbers because I actually think they're much higher than that, because the last 4 people I know that tested positive for COVID tested positive at home with a rapid test and did not get a PCR test through any of the organizations. And so I think those numbers are much higher
Yes.
Than what's actually being reported, because those are all tests that you can track. So, you know, like I said, the last 4 people I know that tested positive all were rapid at-home tests while they were symptomatic. So, you know, not thinking that these are false positives in any way, shape, or form. So, yeah, thank you for that. It's
Yes, you're correct on that. That's been spoken of, that there's cases just not being reported, and persons are self-caring. You know, they're not going into the hospital. And then another thing is also the rates. I'm not that there's. Are you going to the hospital because of COVID, or you go to the hospital for some other cause, and then they discovered that you do have COVID, because they're testing everyone that comes in. So that's, so the numbers that we're talking here are not very accurate, or not, you know, what all the cases are and the various cases are. So much higher, much higher.
Plus, people are reporting that they're not able to find a place to make an appointment for a test.
Right.
So, but I wanted to let you know that last week the health department opened up another testing site down in the fairgrounds in Puyallup at the bronze and gold parking lot, and I believe they're going to be open 6 days a week. So I think you can drive through. It's a drive-through, and I don't know whether you need to make an appointment. I'm thinking you can just go there.
No, you can just go. And then there's also Spanaway Lake.
Spanaway Park, Spanaway.
Mhm. And also the old admission out in, I believe that's still Midland.
No, they closed that.
They did?
Yeah, it was, it couldn't accommodate all the cars that were backing up onto the street.
Oh,
So
that's
they
too bad.
now have Spanaway Park and Puyallup Fairgrounds.
So we had, Linda had her hand up, and then Michaela. Sorry.
Along those same lines, yesterday, Ebony Nurses and some other nurse organizations got an emergency email from Virginia Mason, Sherry Boddington. They're to the point where they can't even get the results out to the patients. So they are requesting 2 people, volunteers, 2 people per day to come in and do something additional. We've never done this before. So it starts tomorrow. So some of us are going to be going out there and be a part of that until the end of February. So she just sent an email to me now. That's the reason I'm bringing it up, that she would see us tomorrow at noon to 3 o'clock. She wants 2 to 3 hours to just do the phone calls. They have the information that we have to provide to the individual when we're doing the results of their testing, and then we're not supposed to discuss any healthcare information, just this little narrative on getting those results out there, because that's been a real issue too. They're having to wait 4 and 5 days for the results because they have no staff to get that done.
Yes.
Linda, can you forward me her original email?
Okay, will do.
And can we just take a moment and acknowledge the Ebony nurses for the work that y'all have been doing with this?
Yeah.
I mean, between the vaccine clinics, the fact that y'all are pivoting to go and run tests, come on, like you all are amazing. And we're so grateful that you are doing this. And, you know, if I had a plaque and an award and a banner and all the things, I would make sure y'all got that. But I mean, how wonderful is it that you guys can do this? So amazing, so amazing. And I appreciate you all. We all appreciate you all doing these things and putting yourself literally on the front lines of this. So thank you all very much.
Well, I thought I'd see Debbie.
Miss Shayla had her hand. I'm sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying, I thought I would see Debbie Sank there tomorrow too, but hey, you never know.
So Miss Shayla, then Gwen.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm.
Thank you. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you for sharing that.
Right. Did anyone else have their hand up? I think.
Oh, it was me. It was me.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I just wanted to say if you guys know anyone that might need testing that's part of the VA beneficiary group, they can go to the American Lake VA. They're not talking about the VA on the news because, you know, that's an exclusive group. You got to be someone with that's a VA beneficiary, but they have a drive-through, no appointment needed area. And they have good signage as you turn into the property to get tested. So definitely won't be in your car, no 2+ hours and all of that. But anyway, just so that people know if they're VA connected, they can go there.
Thank you. That's important.
Absolutely.
All right. Anything else on that? So I've got one person who's interested in being on like an advocacy committee. Would anyone else be interested in serving on advocacy or outreach? And then I can contact you. If not, I can put my, Amita, are you volunteering or did you have something to say? Okay. And I'll put my information in the chat.
Volunteering.
Wonderful, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll put my, what was I gonna say? I don't know if, Alicia, are they supposed to be one and the same committee if it's outreach and advocacy? It sounds like it should be two different things.
So it kind of has done, at one point it was two separate and then it kind of merged together. So I will leave that up to you and how many folks y'all have and what you come up with. But yeah, at one point in time, I think, Anne, you and Gloria were doing one of them. I think it was outreach, if I'm correct. And then Sarah, you were doing advocacy, right? Or is that backwards?
I'd like to share. I would like to share that advocacy and outreach were two separate committees. The chairs of both committee. Well, first of all, I can't remember her name. Our vice president. Georgia left and accepted a job. So I assumed outreach, and Janice assumed the duties of advocacy, and it was overwhelming for her. So I did both of those. And that was only because I didn't have anyone to step up to head both committees.
Okay. Thanks. I'll connect with you on that then. And okay.
Yeah, Sarah, to Sarah's point, at one point, her and Senator Rosa were doing advocacy because I remember them meeting with elected folks. So
okay,
Sarah would be a good person to circle back to about that also.
Good. All right. All right. Alicia, did you have anything more on the barbershop task force?
No, it sounds like that was covered when I first logged in.
Okay. And Leah's not here for communication committee. Does anyone have her updates? Thank you. No problem.
While Michelle's pulling that up, I would also like to, one of the things we talked about in our last executive committee meeting is that we would like to hear from you all. If there's someone who you're interested in, or your organization wants to do a presentation during our regular meeting on the second Wednesday of the month, please reach out to the Leaders Women's Health email and let us know what you'd like to talk about, when you're available. We really want to start working on our 22 calendar and kind of plug people into certain meetings when there's availability. So that way we can kind of plan that ahead. So if like I said, anything you're interested in, or if you want to present for your organization for a certain thing, and this would be, you know, a quick presentation, not like the education committee where they have, you know, an hour-long presentation. This would just be, you know, maybe 15, 20 minutes to present about program, organization, things of that nature. So keep that in mind. And if anyone has any ideas, go ahead and send us an email to the Leaders Women's Health email address, and we will follow up with you. Oh, it's happening now? Oh my gosh. Okay.
That is exciting.
Awesome. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
So
This is so great.
do we have a YouTube channel that we should be subscribing to? Is that correct? Oh, okay. All right. Well, when you're ready, you'll go ahead and send it out. I'm gonna give it to Anne, who has her hand up.
Yes, I have a question about outreach and advocacy. Who does those two committees fall under? Because at one point they were under the vice president, and then at one point it was under the communications lead. So can you
We're still
clarify
hashing
that?
that out. Yes, we're still hashing that out. I think, as vice president over outreach, but I think a lot of that is still very fluid. So, but yeah, definitely connect with me as the point person if you're interested, or but I need to connect with you anyway, and so I can kind of figure out what's been done in the past and what the duties are. Since they are essentially two separate committees, we may just have someone else head up advocacy. So hope that answers your question. Okay, now we're at the part where we can have any other updates or announcements that people have. So if you want to either raise your hand virtually or in real life, I can connect with you. I can call on you.
Or you can put it in the chat if that works best for you too, depending on what people's situations are.
Adrian.
I have one. Can you all hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Because we couldn't get our speaker for February for the education committee, I brought up the suggestion that maybe we could promote blood donations I got a call out to Cascade Blood because they've been announcing that there's a blood shortage secondary to people, mainly from the snowstorms and all the stuff that's going on anyway. They couldn't, a lot of people have had to cancel their blood donation appointments and things like that. And so they said they're very critically low. And so I was just thinking maybe we could just put some advertisement for our February newsletter and on our Facebook pages or social media to let people know that Cascade, that the blood banks do need blood at this time. It's very critically low. So just I do have one flyer I could send out, but I am waiting for the Cascade Blood lady to get back with me.
And plasma is also very needed. And you could donate plasma twice a week versus whole blood takes a little longer. But anyway, so anybody who could donate anything would be really good.
That's good to know. Michelle, I see your hand. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. Alicia, did you have a follow-up question?
I wanted to, yes, address, you can get paid for donating plasma, but the plasma that you get paid for donating does not go to actual people. That goes to medical research. In order to donate plasma that goes to actual patients, you cannot get paid. So there's some legal stuff around that. Anyway, so if you are going to donate plasma, you have to go to a Cal State Blood Services. You have to go to, I don't know if the American Red Cross does it. I'm not sure. I'm just not familiar with what they do. But in order to donate plasma that goes to people in the hospitals, you do not get paid for it. All of that plasma goes to medical research.
Thank you. That sounds
Interesting.
good.
Yeah.
All right. Michaela.
Oh, okay. Mhm.
Yep. Yep. Mhm.
Thank you, Michaela. We'll pull it over to Anne now.
Yes, I'd like to announce Tacoma Ministerial Alliance Martin Luther King Jr. Scholarship Fund celebration is Thursday, January 13th at 6 p.m. and it will be live streamed on Facebook.
Anne, can you say a little bit more about what that's about?
The TMA has a long history of providing scholarships to graduates of Tacoma and the surrounding community. Usually the scholarships are presented at an annual banquet, but due to COVID, we're doing it virtually.
And these are
this happens yearly, and we announce the dates, which I can't recall, when the scholarship applications are sent out to the community and the schools. And so then there's a scholarship committee, education committee headed up by Bishop John Castile, and they select awardees and award those scholarships yearly.
Wonderful. So this is like a fundraiser then?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. Anyone else? Am I missing? If I don't see your hand or anything, just go ahead and jump in.
There is one for now, National African American Museum in Seattle. They're also having a virtual event on the 17th. And it's 2 different times. You can choose the hours, 2 different events. I think morning and evening. I mean, afternoon around 2 and then around 7 in the evening.
Do you have links for that or?
I can look it up and send. I do have an email. I can, I guess, forward it to Michaela. Is that who we send it to? Michaela? Okay.
Perfect. Alicia.
So I just wanted to ask all of you, there's 17 folks on this call today. If you all happen to run into someone who is part of Leaders or has previously been part of Leaders in Women's Health, I would love for you to invite them to come back and to participate and to let them know that we are still doing work and that we are still here and that we still would love to have them. I just really would like to, I know folks want to meet in person. I've heard that from all of you so many different times. You would love for us to be in person again. I just don't know when and if that's going to happen. But I feel like it's been 2 years. People have they've learned how to Zoom, whether they wanted to or not. They've learned how to jump in. And also I'd like to let Suzanne Alexander actually brought up a really good point that she wondered if some of the folks weren't coming to the meetings because we changed it to 9 o'clock instead of 7:30. And so I would really be interested that if you talk to someone and ask them that question, and if I think we need to revisit that is basically where I'm going with all of this. So Allison, I see you have your hand.
Yeah, for me, that because the 7:30 allows you to do it before the workday starts. So I know I can only speak from my experience that definitely has impacted my ability to come because it's much harder for me to block off that 9 to 10 o'clock time rather than the 7:30 to 9 time.
Right. So thank you for that. And I'm just curious on how many other folks are having that's the same situation with them. And so please, I just would love for all of you, if you do talk to someone, kind of try to have that conversation and see if we need to revisit maybe our time that we're meeting, if 7:30, which, for a lot of you folks who are retired, 7:30 is probably very cringy. But I love meeting with all of you. But like, I'm just sitting here in my office, I've had 8 people walk in while we've been on this meeting. So that's just a perfect example of, so anyway, I just think we need to revisit that. And I'd be very curious to know if that is what has impacted a lot of folks. So if you all could have those conversations and just kind of report back, that'd be wonderful. I'd appreciate it. Oh, we could do
I have a comment to that too. Oh, sorry. First of all, I think, it is nice to sleep in and start the meeting later, but let's face it, our future is in young people getting involved in this work. So I'm in favor of the 7:30. Secondly, Georgia Spiropoulos, who was an officer, is interested in coming back. She was on a plane this morning and she texted me and said, tell everybody, hello, I'm going to come to the next general meeting and I had to travel this morning. Otherwise I would have been on the call. So there are folks who are at a point in their life when they are interested in coming back. So just I wanted to share that.
Thank you.
Was back this morning, so case in point.
Yeah.
But I think we could probably do a poll, send out a poll to get people's opinion on that. Amita, I saw you flash your hand up.
Oh, before we leave, I came in late. I just wanted to hear from Lisa when I saw her name on there. I just, wanted to hear from her, see how she's doing.
Speaking of people who haven't been around for a while and come back.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amita.
Welcome back. Welcome
It's
back.
so wonderful to see you all. I just am excited to be here today. And I do plan on coming back and attending Leaders in Women's Health. Part of that is because I've been in the education world, and they are interconnected, right, with health and education. But it has been hard for me to balance the work that I do. I still do public health stuff, specifically in the Latino community, and do my education full-time job and have a family, right? So, but I have been encouraged many times by many of you to come back, and I really appreciate that. I love you, and I feel a part of the group, even though I have not been in attendance, and I'm ready to dig in and help. And part of that is that I will be in a new job at the Tacoma Pierce County Health Department that is community engagement. And if this this group is super important, right? And I know that. And I'm excited to work with this group, and I think that will be part of my job, is what I'm hoping, but I don't know, because Johanna's maybe the representative from the health department, but I want to be involved in some way, or other. So I'm excited to be back, and it's so lovely to see all of you. And I'm so glad you're still here doing this.
We are too.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Wonderful.
For that. So yes, that is exactly why. Perfect example of, you know, folks just needed to figure out what the new world looked like for them. And so, you know, please encourage folks to come back and ask that question. So thank you, Lisa. I am confident we will find something for you to do.
Anne, I see your hand up.
Yes, I would like to also thank Liesl, because even though Liesl hadn't been with us in a while, she's the one that kept a lot of Leaders in Women's Health materials and resources, like our Leaders in Women's Health bag. She kept them stored in her garage. And I think it was last summer we arranged and she brought those things to the Urban League so that we could put them in storage. So even though that she wasn't active in a meeting, she was in total support of us and working with us. So Lisa, I'm glad you're back, and thank you for all of your support.
Yeah.
You guys are amazing. You're the reason Leaders in Women's Health is in existence. So you guys are the, I want to support again. So I'll figure it out the best way.
Awesome.
With you.
Wonderful. It's so great to have you back. All right. Any other updates or announcements? If not, I can give you back. Jackie, were you going to, little hand move. I can give you back about 10 minutes of your time. Our next meeting is, we've got it down for February 9th. And again, be inviting people, and I will try and reach out to those of you who expressed interest in the advocacy or the outreach committee. And if you are still interested, go ahead and email me, jwolf at the health department, tpchd.org, and it's in the chat. So I would like to close us in prayer. If we have maybe Diana can close us in prayer again, if I'm not putting you on the spot too much.
Can I add one more thing, Johanna, before Diane? Thank you.
Yeah.
Next month, Clarissa Fletcher from the Raymond Hall, is that right? Am I saying that right? Is going to do a quick presentation for us about wanting to have, I know I'm not saying this right, but juvenile court violence advocates.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So anyway, just wanted to give you guys a heads up that she'll
Oh yeah,
a bit of a presentation for us.
We've been wanting that for some time.
Okay. Right. Okay, thank you. And yes, let's close in prayer.
May our work together reflect the wholeness and depths of ourselves. Go in peace. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, everybody.
Please check
to
out
those of you on Facebook and YouTube.
And YouTube.
And those coming in from Africa.
Oh, Dr. Lane's in Africa? What? Holy smoke, we are international now. What is happening?
Have a good day, everyone.
Yes,
you too.
Yes.
Bye, everybody. God bless.
Everyone, good seeing you.
Yes.
Bye.
Ooh,
Bye, everybody.
bye-bye.
Oh, Dr. Lane's in Africa? What? Holy smoke, we are international now. What is happening?
Have a good day, everyone.
Yes,
you too.
Yes.
Bye, everybody. God bless.
Everyone, good seeing you.
Yes.
Bye.
Ooh,
Bye, everybody.
bye-bye.
Oh, Dr. Lane's in Africa?